Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, I'm going to play a little Mardu GIF as our send-off gift to this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle meta. It's finally gone. Tomorrow, Strixhaven's releasing, and I cannot be happier. That being said though, as you're watching this, tomorrow is today for you. I'm recording this a day ahead, so, I don't have Strixhaven cards. I don't even know if I can get Strixhaven cards tomorrow, because I have a busy day at work, so I won't get to play until maybe Wednesday, unfortunately. But, this deck, I think is eternal. The Cat Pack deck is one that, ever since release, is been one of the fan favorites, and one of my favorite, because I love giving opponent greedy cards that gives me the benefit and throw the downsides repercussions to our opponent. Kind of the Illusion of Grandeur donate deck that I remember back when I first started playing that someone donated an illusion to me that I just fell in love with that combo. It's so fun. And this is the same idea. We're going to get Demonic Pact and Grease Gambit, throw out our opponent, and Grease Gambit just slowly ticks down and drains out their life total, make them discard cards and sack creatures, while Demonic Pact just make them lose the game instantly. So those are the idea of the deck. And with Uncle Iroh, we get to do that. Now, this is not the first time I read this version of the deck. I've tried several copies, several versions of similar style, but with a caveat. What I've noticed is a lot of times I get overwhelmed by a wide board. So I've added in one Day of Judgment so we can Beseech the Mirror out the Day of Judgment and win that way if I needed to. And, the downside of having just one is, oh, what if it's not in your deck that you can't Beseech out? If it's not in my deck, it's in my hand. And I can hard cast that because I have white mana in the deck. So this is just fine. So that is one side of that. The other one that I always have struggles with is artifact decks. Ultima is there to destroy those pesky United Battlefront, the Simulacra Synthesizer decks. That gets rid of all that real quick. And we get mana screw very often. So we added one Terminus of Return to help us ramp a little bit. And not only does it ramp, it also sack into the Beseech the Mirror bargain. So that's pretty important. And that's the whole idea. Now, the important thing about this deck in how we win is we have to make sure our opponent can't interact with our Grease Gambit donation. And that means that you have to play Iroh first before Grease Gambit, or wait for a 7-mana Grease Gambit Harmless Offering, right? That's kind of the trick. Otherwise, you play Grease Gambit, they remove it, all of a sudden you're down a card, and you're down 2 life, and you're not really up on tempo at all, and your opponent punish you for playing a greedy card. That's not what you want to do with this deck. You want to punish your opponent for you playing a greedy card. So that's kind of a small trick that you got to recognize, which means I cut down on the donation cards a lot, right? So there's only 2 Harmless Offering and 2 Iroh, but I have 4 Duress. You got to look at what your opponent's doing and get rid of an important card in their hand that disrupts you. And that's why it's Duress in the deck rather than Intimidation Tactic or any 2-mana discard spells, because it doesn't matter if they have creatures. If it's creatures, it's not instant speed, they're not interacting with us, it's fine. Even if it's Badgermo Cup, even if it's something scary, you do it. You do your thing. Then you're going to have to sack that to the Grease Gambit. So Duress is the most important thing in this deck in making the combo work, as most combo decks do. We also have 4 Seam Rift for removal, 4 Momentum Breaker, and 4 Nowhere to Run for 2-mana removal, so all that is great. 2-mana Rest in Peace, of course, to get into our opponent's graveyard and exile all those cards. That's pretty important. We can also exile our graveyard so don't get milled by the Monument combo. So that's our turn 1, turn 2 play. We got Seam Rip, Duress, turn 1, and then all these 4 2-mana removals for turn 2, and a little bit of ramp, and a little bit of graveyard hate. Turn 3, don't play these. Right? Don't play these on turn 3, especially if opponent probably can interact with Iroh. Obviously, don't play Harmless Offering on turn 3. There's no reason to. But also, don't play Iroh on turn 3 unless it looks like our opponent's not going to interact with Iroh at all. If it's a green deck or a white deck, most likely they're not going to interact with Uncle Iroh. They're not even going to care. They're going to attack over and try to trample us. And that's where Iroh on turn 3 is insane. Because if Iroh is not answered on turn 3, turn 4 we land a Grease Gambit, and all of a sudden they're in the back foot, on the back foot. So that's our 1-2 punch if our opponent's not careful. And if they interact with Iroh, obviously turn 4 we can figure out what we should do then. Then turn 4, of course, we have the 4 Grease Gambit. I cut down on the Demonic Pact to 3. Everybody runs 4. I don't agree with it. Demonic Pact is a good card, especially at 4 mana. It's pretty good interactive play in terms of its ability, but it doesn't do anything on turn it comes in. And in current standard, that's just a little too slow. So I cut it down to 3, and I added Day of Judgment. And I still have 4 Beseech the Mirror. This is an insane card. This Beseech the Mirror, we got a lot to bargain into. Means I could, 4 mana, play any card from my deck. Except the 1 Ultima. 1 Ultima is 5 mana. Obviously, we're waiting for a artifact board to wipe. So, that's the whole deck list. Then we have 24 lands. Very standard. We got 5 basic lands. 1 plain, 3 swamps, 1 mountain. We have 4 Beseech the Mirror. So, lots of black pip in the deck. Therefore, we're going to have 4 Bleachbone Verge, 4 Godless Shrine. 4 Blazemire Verge, 4 Blood Crypt. And then 3 Sacred Foundry for the red mana to cast Iroh. I don't even think we need this many, but we'll see, right? Maybe it's relevant. You can even go down to 2 and add an extra mountain or an extra playing if you want to not pay as much life, or add a multiversal passage if you want to have that sort of modality. But that's the whole idea of the deck. Let's go into the game and see how well we can give our gifts. Alright, our opponent is Guizio. Guizio. You go first. Yeah, I'm playing Warzone. Alright, no card draw or anything, but we do have a Beseech. That's a tutor for a card draw. And depending on how interactive they are, I can decide which card I get out of my deck. Or our opponent could just not be playing the game at all. That's very common in Arena. Woo! And then we got Elk. Elky, make Elkerson. Hello? Say hi again. Alright, I have no turn 1 play, so here's a Godless Shrine. They're gonna Badger us. Land World. Let's break this out. Go away. Nobody likes you. And then the Badger Mole comes, and then we have to break the Badger Mole. It's just standard gameplay right here. Just play it. No? I mean, you should play it. What you got? Nature's Rhythm and a bounce spell, huh? Well, none of that, please. He's gonna go 3 mana. Do I hold up nowhere to run when he has 3 mana? Or do I rest in peace to get rid of this Nature's Rhythm? He could draw Badger Mole into another Badger Mole. That's how I lose the game, right? If I get too greedy there. I can't imagine a bounce spell being useful here, so he could have the Nature's Rhythm. Or a Flood Maul. Flood Maul doesn't help at all until we grease Gambit. Then it'll help drastically. Okay, land number 4 is important. He can bounce the Grease Gambit, so I don't think that's worth it here. I think we rest in peace to get rid of this Nature's Rhythm. And we're gonna have to kill the Ouroboros. That's why I held on to this. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Alright. I guess now we can either Iroh or Grease Gambit, right? If he just plays Ouroboros. Grease Gambit gives me another land, but then he'll probably just maybe discard it. So we do the Iroh first. You can have a food. Here, have some tea. He needs to top deck a land and play Ouroboros all on the same turn. Otherwise we get him. He did do that. Now he has Ouroboros as a 2/4. Of course, he could target something and lose out on his Flood Maul. That would be dumb. That would be dumb, but he did it anyways. Okay. So, we're a little bit behind, but I'm not as afraid of one Ouroboros. I'm sure what he's planning to do is just grow multiple Ouroboros together. I could Iroh again, just have him grow, but that's where it gets a little bit scary. I'd rather have another land. But just having one more land doesn't really stop this Ouroboros. I could search for a way to kill it. Then he has a third one and I'm out of a search too. Is that worth it? He should just have bounce bouncer. That means I'll have the Breeze Gambit in my hand if I need to discard. Oh, this is great. I need to discard a card. We'll take out... I don't think I need 2 Irohs. Not bad. I didn't see any counter spells. I'm not sure if he has any creature-based counter spells. Bossing Say. Sure. I'm sure he wants to play the bird, right? The bird is the word. He's gonna eat the food now? He's gonna attack with 1. We'll try to chump block. Well, gotta do it this turn. Did I have a counter spell? You can have my greed. Here, you can have it. I don't want it. I'm not that greedy. I'll even pass turn. Alright, gotta get rid of one of those so they don't overwhelm us too quickly. Here's a momentum breaker. Break one of those Ouroboros' momentum. He will get a pretty large board, but then we can Beseech Day of Judgment. Actually, would I even need to? Because, yeah, he's just trying to sack creature every turn. He's gonna look into Bossing Say creature? Yes, he is. On his own Bossing Say? Why? It's not trample. Well, it's flying. Sack a creature. What was the last card I discarded? It was a land. Sack the Bossing Say just to bring it back. Right, he still has a flying Ouroboros, so it's not like we're out of the woods with just that, but this is why we have these. Just give more food. You can have my rest in peace, actually. Down to 7. There's a day. There you go. Now, he could Bossing Say out a creature to attack me for 2, but I think I can live with that. Riddler does draw 2 cards. Plays a land and has to play that card or it gets discarded. So, there you go. Nice Riddler. Very good top deck from our opponent. Like, basically the only way to save himself. Nature's Rhythm. Okay, nice. He is now at... dead. I didn't even have to pack. GG. Our opponent is Coiterificus. Cooterificus. We do get a Duress, but very shocking lands. Not so shocking anymore. Now what you play now? Kingling. Creature control gets +X+X. The X number of creature into the battlefield this turn. Okay, none of that. But first we get rid of the talent. Scariest card. Authority of the Council. That I don't care as much. But I do feel like my Iroh will die if I'm not too careful. Depending on what he plays here. He didn't play anything. So is something I need to throw out Iroh for? I don't think so. In fact, let's break it. What do you want to discard here? A land, one of these good cards. Discard a land, so it must be a land. Alright, well, I could Greed's Gambit into perhaps to get lost. And give him 3 life. But maybe this will pay off. If you just want an Ultima here, I'm okay with it. Kindling. It's even better. Alright, so he didn't want an Ultima, which means that I can Iroh him. Does gain the 1 life. But in our combat, give him our Greed's Gambit. Here, you can have it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything scary that can deal damage to me. Start engine some more. Here, let's Duress. Get that Ultima out. No Bull Ride for you. Bull Ride only for me. Let me Ultima you. Alright, let's see how he wants to pump that 1/1. Second Kindling. That's pretty scary. I guess. But creatures will just die. Yeah. So now, I think we just keep doing this. You're getting too greedy, opponent. You know what? I'm gonna hold these back. I'm gonna hold these bats back. I just need to get 1 damage in for speed, and then the Greed's Gambit will kill him, so I don't need to go crazy. He's gonna kindle some more. Now, what does it do? When X the number of creatures that enter the battlefield this turn. You know what? Let's just go ahead and get rid of one of these. That's a 5/5. Very fun. Here's a chump block for you. But you gotta sack 2 creatures. He's down to 1. Alright, I have a lot of Beseech the Mirrors. Let's see if we do it. Just to be mean. There's a 2/2. We sack that. And GG. Yeah, we're gonna give you all the Greed's Gambits. And you can't get out of that. Alright, our opponent is Sabi Silent. SB. Center Barbara. Alright, once again, our opponent goes first. We got 2 lands and a bunch of 4-drops. There are 4-drops in the deck for a reason, but come on. Never punish. Come on, never punish. Oh, and we'll get into an aggro deck. Optimistic Scavenger. I guess we have Day of Judgment eventually. Maybe we can tie that off. The most helpful Weaver. Ish. I'm gonna stop your Optimistic Scavenger. You can try to buff him, but he's still dead. He still dies. Okay, he's gonna do 2 Shardmage Rescue to survive. Huh. I guess it doesn't die. Did I still kill it then? I didn't target yet. What happened there? Oh, it got buff on the first one, so go to 5, right? Yeah, let's just avoid a wide hit then. Zero armor. Seam Rip on... Why would you do that? That's like marginal hit at best. Now I can Seam Rip this and kill something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's great. Anyways, I need to be able to play Uncle Iroh right now, so we'll get Uncle Iroh here. I'm gonna have this food. I don't want it. I would like a blocker though. That'd be great. Double strike? Double strike is scary if you can't block. Luckily, we got blockers. He's probably got sheltered by ghosts, right? I'm assuming that's what's going on. No? If not, I'm just gonna chump block you. Really? Oh, that's not great. Scavenger. Wonder Weave Arrows. Alright. Well, that's not great for your opponent, because now you're gonna eat the downside of my greed. I draw 3 cards, and I give you this greed. Now, I got blockers for days. If you want, you can have a shelter too. Don't care too much now. We finally beat this deck. I mean, like, you gotta be able to at least stomp on these kind of decks. Trash decks for trash opponents. Ethereal Armor so scary. Look, it flies too. Oh my god, it's gonna one-shot lethal me if he has double strike. We'll show him what's up. Is that all you got? You didn't have a shelter by ghost, so you didn't get any life total either. Alright. Ooh, I could do this again. That would be pretty fun. I mean, I don't imagine him having... You know what? I'm kind of greedy. Should I just do it again? Give him 2. What can he have in this deck that removes all of my creatures? Or give his creature trample? I don't imagine there is a card in that deck that does it. There you go. Alright, Prominent Pioneers. Pioneered out. Alright, our opponent is Miyamoto Musashi. Cool. Somebody's been reading a little bit too much history and is letting me go first. No, this is a terrible go first hand. I have no card draw, white spells that early, black spells that are late, but only black mana. Can I keep this hand? Knowing that I get a Momentum Breaker turn 2. After the Momentum Breaker, I don't get much, right? There's no crazy card draw in the deck, so I guess I'm all again that. This is slightly better, I would say. I have at least 3 lands. And this deck just unlocks with 4 lands. So we'll put away the Demonic Pact. And we don't have a 1-drop, so this can come into play tapped. Optimistic Scavenger. Alright, he's gonna scavenge. We're gonna show that we're Mardu. I didn't need to show it, but I don't know if I'm gonna play a different land next turn than the swamp. Ah, voice. Gotta stop voice. I mean, I don't stop the voice, but at least I stop it from hitting me. Alright, well, we'll take out this voice too. And now we're mana screwed. That's the rub. Gotta get to 4 lands here somehow. He's gonna Seam Rip or Seam Rip. Okay. If he wants to get his voice back that way, he could. We get a Duress. Let's Duress him first. He's got more Seam Rip. Oh, a Battlefront, you say? Now that's scary. We'll get rid of that. So is Corpses, but I think Battlefront is scarier. He can't actually play Battlefront next turn, but when he can, this will destroy us, right? Rising Corpses. Yeah. I guess we'll have to do this. I'm pretty sure if I take corpses, our opponent just stops there to land. And then what, huh? Here is corpses. And hit us with 3. Yeah, it's now I'm never gonna draw land number 4 here, no matter what, right? So that's the battle we're gonna have to fight. Second corpses. We'll take one of them out. I don't know if that matters too much. There's another one. Now it's gonna hit us a 4. Ow. Come on, deck. Okay, well. Nice. Alright, our opponent is Spark UK. Spark. SP Arc. We go first. There's a momentum breaker, so I think we keep. Godless Shrine first. Alright, well. I mean, we might as well, right? I want to land something so I can Beseech. And this is a good start. I don't have any instant speed interactions. Then we momentum break. Can I figure out what he is? No. 3 swamps, I mean, probably mono black, right? It's the Lactite Dagger, so it's the Annex deck. Okay. Annex deck. I don't think fights that well against either Demonic Pact or Grease Gambit. Do they have Destroy Target Enchantment? They might, right? So, Grease Gambit could hurt. And also, you know what? I am greedy. Let's get the Grease going. He doesn't have the setup yet. So I think he wants to set up a little bit more. And that gives me time. You might want to kill one of these with Hex. Yep. That's fine. You can kill all of them. Shoot the Sheriff. That's your setup? That's not a very good setup. Alright. I guess. I hope that makes you feel good. I even paid the life here. Now we're even life total. Let me... I think I should Duress him first. What's in your deck? There's a Strategic Betrayal and a Tragic Trajectory. I mean, neither of these really hits my deck, so I don't think that matters too much. I took out the Strategic Betrayal, right? So we will Beseech the Mirror, we'll sack Momentum Breaker. Let's bury our uncle. Nobody mess with uncle. You can have this Grease Gambit. Good luck. Forsaken Miner. That's a terrible card. Trajectory? Sure. I guess you took out uncle. You won't have no board? You can have no board. Alright. This is a pretty risky play. If I play the Demonic Pact and don't get anything, I will lose. So I'm not going to do it. And there's nothing on board. Nothing's threatening me, really. There's a corpse. That also doesn't threaten me because he can do it once, right? And then it just goes away. Oh, look at that. It's a 4 damage attack. So very threatening. And I'm just getting it back. Another land. Another day of nothing going on. I guess this is getting annoying because of his... I can only equip one of. Okay. I'll eat this food. I didn't need to eat it. I could have sacked it or something, but if I had Beseech, I think I would have enough to just go through it. I could Ultimate this. Spirit of both daggers. Am I taking damage from this? I don't know what he has. Nothing on board is really dealing damage to me. And he's just losing life every turn. I am drawing lands every turn, which... classic Magic fashion. So if I played Demonic Pact, I would have lost. Smart of me not to do that. His corpse would never trigger. So he takes 2 every turn. That means that he has... he's basically, he... if I had Demonic Pact, right, he has 4... he has 3 turns? I think I had to wait 1 more turn. So, let's do the math, right? This turn he takes 4, okay. He's gonna attack me with that, which is fine. It doesn't hurt me. Well, it does hurt me, but it doesn't hurt me enough to kill me. So what I was saying is, this turn will take 2, then he takes 4, then he takes 2 more, and I draw 2 cards. Then, okay, second Demonic Pact kind of answers that question for me. There. That's 8 damage. I don't have to worry about that math. I think I would have already killed him either way, but, you know, this is just as good. 4 damage to your face. 4 damage to your face. GG! Skeleton aggro. You're not skeleton nor aggro. Your graveyard gets exiled. Alright, our opponent is Gageg 115. You go first. I mean, I have 4 lands and agrees Gambit, but nothing else really happening here. So we'll throw out a Godless Shrine. I'm thinking about this because I might need a 1-mana white spell, but with Temple of Alignment, probably not. In fact, with Temple of Alignment, let me just throw out the Momentum Breaker here. Get them to start discarding stuff. Okay, so this is the Artifact deck, which makes Ultima all the better. If I just tap, I do have 2 Nowhere to Run, but they're not going to be useful here. I want the Greed's Gambit, but it'll probably get locked down. Then I'll have to discard 3 cards, so it actually doesn't draw anything. It just filters the draw a bit, but filtering the draw and discarding these Nowhere to Run might be exactly what I wanted. Alright. He's gonna sack this to draw a card so he can try to hit my Greed's Gambit. I don't think there's that many instant speed interactions. There's the Battlefront, I mean... Okay, great. Those are terrible cards to hit at the time being. We're not out of the woods, but we're not dead. Play the Bleachbone Verge. We'll play our Uncle. Nobody mess with Uncle. You can tap something down. Uncle is definitely giving him some food for thought. And by food, I mean greed. Take action. And you know what I'm going to do is... I'm not going to attack, I think, because he could get the Fire Crystal and attack me for a lot. But what I'm going to do is kill this 3/3 so that I'm reducing the power by significantly. And meanwhile, Nowhere to Run isn't going to go anywhere. Yeah, there you go. He wants to tap down my blockers. I want to remove his attacking creatures. Then I Ultima him and he's entirely out of the game. Right? That's the plan. Simulacrum Synthesizer number 2. He's going to have to sack that. And I'm sure he's planning a Fire Crystal kind of game. Gotta be careful. Gonna sack his own creature and discard a card. Okay. So, I can seam rip this, but if he gets that and just gets a fire crystal, he can still attack for a lot. I think the plan here is to Beseech this and just get more blockers out. They don't have aggro. Well, they don't have a. Where's Grease Gambit? Yeah, they don't have trample, so this will do significant amount to his life total and get rid of all his cards in his hand. And really, the cards in his hand are the most worrisome stuff. So you can have this Grease Gambit. I'm gonna keep giving him greed until we show him who's greedier. Uncle can attack. Nobody mess with Uncle. And I'm gonna tick down his artifact count. Play Fire bricks. Play Fire gone. Now this time I have enough blockers that he's not even tapping the Braided Net. I'm gonna go Star Cage. Okay. So on this turn he cannot get to an attack yet. Perilous Snare on Uncle Iroh. Alright, that looks like a pretty big board now. But he's gonna discard 2 cards, which means he has no cards left in his hand. Star Cage and that. We'll GG him. Because I kept an Ultima just for him. Haha, GG. Get their values, stupid deck. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those Mardu gifting games, how does this deck feel? Well, it's the deck that I've played at least once a season, sometimes 2-3 times a season, because I really enjoyed this style of play. It's got a lot of interaction in stopping our opponent from, winning, and then all of a sudden, even though it doesn't look like we're about to win, all of a sudden we slam our win con and our opponent immediately loses the game. That's my interest. That's how I find a deck interesting, is that we can turn a corner so fast that all of a sudden they don't have any way to combat what we have. Grease Gambit is one of those things, right? Because once you donate Grease Gambit to your opponent, they can't stop it. There is no stopping Grease Gambit, right? When it leaves the battlefield, its controller has to lose all those things. Now, of course, if you have something that counters triggered abilities, I suppose that is the one saving grace. But there's not that many cards in Standard that does it. And even then, those decks do not fight very well against what we can do. Because if you're countering triggered abilities, you are not really interacting with all those bats that we're summoning to attack with. And you're not stopping the Demonic Pacts, constant ticking triggers. And you're not going to be able to counter Beseech the Mirror into any card in our deck that easily. So overall, I do think this is a very strong deck. It does take time to learn how to play, but the best part is it is eternal. It's the Harmless Offering is, well, don't look at the whatever it said. This is coming from Innistrad, right? This is in Foundation, and our Demonic Pact also in Foundation, which means that they're going to be in Standard for 5 years, and most likely even after that, they're just going to release the same Foundation set over and over, and this combo will always be there. Now, Grease Gambit is not going to be here forever. While it's here, this deck is so much more powerful. But when it's gone, you can always still give them Harmless Offering them a Demonic Pact, and in the meantime, just keep removing their stuff. And then maybe it's not Mardu, maybe it's Rakdos, maybe slotting other colors for more interactions, more removal, more sustainability. But ultimately, it's all about, hey, I'm not doing anything over here, and then all of a sudden, oh, I am doing something, by the way, you lost. That's kind of how this deck works, and that's how we won all of our games. That's very fun. But that's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.